Alright, hey people, welcome back to my stream. Although I was on leave today, I ended up not not even playing like Wukong or well, at least I got Tsui and Sora up right now. Feeling a little sick, and I did finish like fucking Strike the Blood. I don't know why, but like somewhere in season 4 it just it kind of messed up. They really tried so hard to escalate that I don't know. They were like doing a lot of build up somewhere here and there, and it felt like the ending was like a mess. Maybe it was the anime adaptation. I don't know if that one messed up as well. Anyway, let's get started. Since I'm not like super feeling well, I decided like Tsui and Sora is my best bet for tonight. Like my reflexes are gonna be shit, so I might as well just do some reading. Alright, let's get started.
Yukito.
Kotomi か。
いろいろ考えたら1限目って原告だったじゃない。
そうだっけ？
その後もずっと授業サボった。
そんな記憶があるな。
そんなことしていると卒業できなくなるよ。
ああ、それは大丈夫。補習受ければ取り返しがつくんだよ。それに俺は推薦とか狙ってないから内申とか関係ないし。
もうユキトは。
部活いつ終わるんだ？
なんで？
待っててやるから一緒に帰らないか？
ユキト。
Oh, I suddenly remember where the fuck. Okay, so I remember like down in the rabbit hole too, and I think it was supposed to be Kagami was like part of the Kendo club. I was wondering where the hell that came from. And well, Kotomi is part of the Kendo club, and there was like that whole thing about like Yuki exploring the classrooms and all that shit after exploring the school because she had nothing better to do. I'm guessing it's gonna run similarly here, but at this point we haven't even encountered like the Kyuseisha yet, so
ダメか？
全然ダメじゃないよ。
なんで俺言われるんだよ。
でもさ、私が部活の間ってユキトが暇じゃないかな。
任せろ。俺はこう見えてもやることが結構あるんだ。
ダラダラしたり？
そう。せっかくだから一生懸命ダラダラしてやるぜ。
本当にありがとう、ユキト。
なあ、任せておけ。
じゃあ部活が終わったら。
そのぐらいに体育館に行く。
Yeah, this is it. This is the exact same fucking dialogue.
じゃあ部活頑張るよ。
Cheering up a bit, Kotomi runs off toward the gym. I see her off from behind.
とは言ったものの、何をやるかな。どうしたもんか。
Oh, did I give you options this time around? Oh, there you go. I was wondering like where the hell the options are gonna be. All right, let's go to the old pool first. Yeah, they had okay, because this is what happened. I mean, this is the OG. Well, this is a remake of the OG, or based on reviews, this is an alternative version of the OG. So it's worth reading. It's even worth reading the OG at this point. All right. Even though it's summer, the pool is never filled with water. Our schools had an indoor pool since last year, so this one isn't used. I wonder if they'll ever get around to demolishing it. Why'd I even come here in the first place? Now then, where to next? The Building B's rooftop.
屋上でも行くか。
I head toward Building B's rooftop. I bet they're probably gonna seal it off sooner rather than later. But better get my fill of the place while I still can. I get up to the rooftop via the window, and there I find Otanashi Ayana.
Oi! Otanashi!
No response. I walk right up next to her.
何やってんだ?
She's ignoring me. Or rather, she's so absorbed in staring up at the sky that she's oblivious to the world around her.
何か見えんのか?
空。
そりゃそうだな。で、空の塩梅はどんなだ?
Well, yes, the most famous picture of a cloud in Japan for some reason. In every work I've seen, any Japanese work I've seen, it's always this fucking cloud, man.
塩梅とは、
どんな空が見えるのかって聞いているんだよ。
ああ、それなら言える。私が見ているのは、対の空。
Bro, she said the line. She said the thing. She said the thing.
対の空なんだそりゃ。
The N sky? N?
何かが対立してるのか？
なぜそう思うの？
Wait, did they? I need to double check something. I probably got. Did they get the font wrong? I'm wondering if I got the. I have like a font issue. Wait. Let me see. Let me reopen this. No, it's probably better to start from exit and then open it again. Okay, let me reopen the game. Because I know there's like an issue with the font. And I didn't install the font. I don't know if I had the font to start with. And it's gonna be maybe skipping. No. We barely started anyway, so it's fine.
ああ、
Alright.
お何やってんだ？
Okay.
何か見える？
We already read that.
そりゃ。で？
Well, they call it the end. Did they?
何かが対立してるのか？
This engine. I mean, I'd expect this to be like a much more modern engine that allows you to go back to like the previous scene. It apparently doesn't give you that ability, or at least the engine they're using right here.
なるほど。
Watanashi seems to realize something known only to her.
ユキト君には見えない。
見えるも何も。ただの空じゃないか？
ただの空とは何？
ただの空って普通の空っていうか。
普通の空とは何？
ね？青くて雲が浮かんで太陽が照って？
青くない空は普通ではない？
いや、そりゃ赤くなったり暗くなったりもするけど、普通の空って言えばそれまであった空だ。
それまであった空。いつからそれはそれまであったの？
いつからと言われるとよくわからんが。
I kind of miss the old VA for Ayana, but like, you know, this is meant to be like a parallel universe thing going on, so you know, it's kind of expected that you're gonna have like a different voice for Ayana, but like I really prefer the Subahibi Ayana voice.
自然の一応性原理？
The principle of the uniformity of nature, also known as simply the uniformity principle. I've heard of it. It's the principle that nature isn't a series of random occurrences, but rather that when under the same conditions, the same phenomenon will repeat themselves.
今まであったからこれからもある。俺はそれを普通と言った。そのことに対して自然の一応性原理なんて言葉を出したのか？
普通なことは今までがそうであったから普通。そしてそれは今までそうだったからこそこれからもそうだろうという過程。
今まであったことから予測してこれからのことも同じであろうと思う。だが実際は自然の一応性原理を正当化するためには機能法を使うが、その機能法が自然の一応性原理によって正当化されている。つまり互いが互いを正当化してぐるぐる回っているだけ。循環論法になっている。
I remember reading something like that somewhere before. It's a paradox.
だが普通は普通だろう。
普通は普通。
そうだ。これまでがそうであったのだからこれからもそうだろうと考えて不思議じゃない。逆に一切の法則もなく一応性もなくデタラメだったら人間は生きていけないだろ
う。そんなことはない。人はどんな空の下でも生きていける。だから 私はここで見ているの。
何を？
対の空を。
Tsui no Sora, she said the line. Been saying that a lot.
やっぱりお前の冗談はよくわからねえ。
Well, compared to Tsui, at least it's literally the title of the thing.
そう。
After their brief answer, Otonashi looks back up to the sky. She's staring into it. And, huh? Something and something else. A pair, if you will. I wish they had honorifics like Otonashi-san or some shit. But that's like a personal preference for me. Not that you need it, considering we're reading stuff in English, but like, it comes out that he's being I don't know, maybe I'm so deep in like reading if they're gonna say some shit like that that kind of bothers me. But anyway, that's just a personal preference if you're reading things in English. Anyway, got to think of it. While I was reading the book earlier, I was thinking about the proposition that opposing things form a pair. Two opposing things are like two sides of the same coin, ultimately the same thing. Yeah, it was something like that.
対の空か。俺にも見えたりするのかね。
Didn't wanna see that. I think you wanna see that, man.
もちろん。だってそれはいつでも開かれており、閉じられており、一点であり、全体であり、空間を持たず、時間を持たず、限界であり、その場であり、そして今ここと名指すことができる。そんなものでしかないから。
今ここ？
そう。今はいつ？ここはどこ？その本質的疑惑に立ち止まったら見つめればいい。そうすればきっと見えるはず。
なんつうか、あんまり見たいもんじゃなさそう。
そう。
Otonashi answers my awkward smile with a blank expression. Now then, where to next? The classroom. Oh, let's go to the staff room first.
職員室か。
I suddenly wonder how things are going there right now.
少なくとも連続で人が死んでいるのは確かだ。噂通り警察が来ていても不思議ではない。少しだけ覗いてみるかな。
But as I reach the door, I'm stopped by a voice from down the hall.
おい、Minakami! お前また現代部サボっただろ。
まず
I get out of there as fast as I can.
さすがに追ってこないか。しかし
I guess doing things the normal way might be good every now and then. There isn't a hope of me getting anywhere near that staff room, so I can't eavesdrop on any interesting info.
さてと、どこに行くか。
The classroom.
教室でも見てみるか。
I head back to my own classroom.
誰もいないか。
With the room empty, one desk sticks out like a sore thumb.
高島桜の席に花が飾られているのか。
Oh yeah, because in Tsui they're classmates compared to like Subahibi where like Sakura is in another class. So this kind of thing really does happen. Or is it someone playing a prank?
よくわからんな。
The person who sits at the desk can be changed at any time. So before long, I guess it'll be forgotten that this was ever Takashima Sakura's desk.
さてと、まだ時間があるな。廊下に戻るか。
I head on my way. Alright, let's go back to building B's rooftop. I come to the rooftop again.
さすがに音無しももういないか。
I look up at the sky.
対の空か。
Why is it the A-N-D sky, not E-N-D like N? This is like, I don't know. I don't know if this is deliberate or is it a typo. Is it? I think this is a typo because in Super Hibi he does say N, not A-N-D. I don't know, I'm confused. The sky is just the sky, no matter how you look at it.
天気がいいな。
How the hell does Otonashi manage to not get a sunburn standing here all day? Though I guess there is a bit of shade, so you just need to stand there. Now then, where are they next? Let's go back to the old pool. I decided to head to the old pool.
夏なのに水がないな。もうすっかり水が入れられてないから汚れが溜まっている。
No, I thought like this is like a repeat of what he said. The reason I bothered coming here is so I could see the tarp at Building C, where the suicide happened. But
もうブルーシートはないのか。
there was a suicide here yesterday. It hasn't even been 24 hours. Do they plan to keep bullshitting that nothing happened here forever? Either way, the area looks to be off limits. There's a caution tape hanging all around, and I can see teachers too.
近づくのはめんどくさそうだな。移動するか。
If I can't see the scene of the incident, there's no point in me bothering coming here. I spin around to make a quick getaway before anyone sees me, but it looked like someone came out from the ground on the floor of the pool.
おい
Here we go. Here we go, man. Mamiya Takashima. Holy shit. Someone appears from the side of the pool.
お前確かマミヤだっけ？
みなかみくんだよね。
Oh man, this is so obvious that Takashi as a girl voice actor.
なんでこんなところにいるんだ？
それは
あのさ、そんな怯えられると困るんだけど。
そうだよね。そういう態度キモいよね。ごめん、殴らないで。
いや待て、俺はお前を殴ったことなんてないし。
知ってるよ。みなかみくんはしてないよね。わかるよ。
Shit. Mommy's the same as ever. He's scared shitless by the mere sight of me.
あのさ、なんでプールの脇から出てきたんだ？
出てきてないし、出てきてないよ。
いや、出てきたのは見たんだよ。プール脇でもかがんで歩いてたのか？突然姿が見えたから。
そうなんだよ。いや、あれ、財布をね、落として、財布をプールの脇に落としちゃったんだよ。
How many times did you drop it?
大変だ。用事思い出しちゃったんだ。
By the way, it kind of reminded me in Tsubahibi, each time that Yuki would speak to Takashi, he comes off as very he comes off as belligerent. Like he's very, it's like she's angry every time she talks to Takashi for some reason. Well, you know, there is a good reason for her to be kind of like angry, but she sounds irritated each time she talks to Takashi for some reason. Here, Yukito is just like a random dude just asking some questions, you know. So it's not like. Wait, give me a second. Okay. Mamiya disappears, almost like he's running away. Mamiya Takashima.
なんかあいつ俺のこと完全に勘違いしてるんだよな。
I don't know about Takashima, but I do at least know that Mamiya was bullied by some guys a while back. I guess that's all in the past now, though. Although if Takashima's suicide really was because of bullying, I wonder what Mamiya thinks about that.
さてと、こんな場所にいても仕方がないか。どこ行くか。
I head back to the classroom again. I have nothing to do. I'm pretty much just wandering around aimlessly, trying to kill time. I take a peek inside.
ん?
Mamiya is standing there all by himself.
なんだあいつ。
He seems a little different than when I saw him earlier. Is it just my imagination? He's mumbling something to himself pretty loudly.
マミヤ。
Minakamiか。
さっきからよく会うが、用事だったんじゃないのか？
そうかな。
いや、今しがたQプールで会っただろう。で、今は一人で教室で何やってるんだ？いや、
ごめんなさい。
あ、おい。
Mamiya once again dashes off, like he's running away from me.
なんだよ、あいつは。
The way he was scared felt out of place, in a way. Is that even something that's possible to feel? Am I just overthinking things? I was wandering around for so long that the sun had started to set.
そろそろいいかな。
I head toward the gym.
ユキト。
Kotomi comes running over as soon as she spots me.
ごめん、待ったかな。
いや、それほどでも。
私も部活終わって着替え終わってたんだよ。
そっか。ならそのまま帰れるな。
I just realized their skirts are shorter here compared to like Into Baby. Kotomi and I left the school gates behind us. On the way home via the usual route, Kotomi begins talking quietly.
高島さん、私昨日高島さんと会ったんだよ。
そうらしいな。どんな感じだった？
昨日も私は部活で学校来てたの。
本当に練習熱心だな。
地区予選が夏休みにあるからさ。そしたら高島さんと会って、何の部活も入ってない高島さんが日曜日の学校にいるなんて変だなとか思ったんだけど、でも部活入ってない人が日曜に学校に来たっていいわけだし、だから私は普通に接したの。
なんか高島と話したのか？
うん。はじめ高島さん深刻そうな顔してたからさ。だからなんか悩み事があるのかなと思ったんだけど違ったんだよ。
で何を話したんだ？
わからない。
わからない？
高島さんなんかよくわからないこと言ってたんだよ。
わからないこと？なんだそのわからないことって。
お礼を言いに来たって言ってたんだ。
お礼？琴美にか？
そう。
それだけだったのか？
違う。それだけじゃなかった。なんかいろいろと難しいことを言ってたんだけど、私よくわからなくて、それでも意味が分かったのは、世界は滅亡の危機に瀕しているってことだけ。
は？滅亡？それ高島が言ってたのか？
うん、そう言ってた。
滅亡？なんだよそれ。
私もよくわからなかったから何も言えなくて、でももしかしたら高島さんなりに私に対して助けを求めてたのかもしれないって。だって深刻な顔もしてたし、あの時はまだ自殺をするかどうかを悩んでいたのかもしれないし、それなのに私何もできなかった。何も言えなかったのかもしれない。あの時に私は 彼女を安心させることを何でもいいから言えばよかったんだよ。
うぬぼれるな。
うぬぼれ？
お前は何様だ？神様か何か？なんでそんな状態の人間が自殺するだなんてわかるんだよ。世界が滅亡するから自殺したのか？だったら余計意味がわからない。気がつくも何もない。
そうだけど。
お前のせいじゃないだろ。気にするな。
けどさ、ユキと。
実際お前にも相談しなかったが、俺にも何ら接触してこなかった。小沢のこととかさ。
やっぱりそれが関係あるのかな。
わからない。小沢の事故死の後何があったのか。
小沢くんの転落死からすぐだよね。
まあ確かに直後の自殺だから小沢の死と関連付けたくなるが、だが多分その2つは関係ないだろう。
そうかな。
小沢と高島が付き合っていたのなら知らんが、そんなこともないだろう。2人は違いすぎる。高島はおとなしく目立たないやつ。それに対して小沢は北高にそぐわないような不良になっちまった。
I'm guessing Zachar also encountered the same fate as she did in fucking Tsui. I don't know, man. I really don't know anything too much about Tsui and Sora, other than like, not really. Actually, I don't know too much.
北高って結構いい偏差値の場所だったから、彼は彼で浮いていた。
まあな。
小沢くんがユキとの停学の理由になったんだよね。
そんなこともあったな。今となってはバカバカしいことだが。
ユキと。
ともかくだ。小沢と高島に接点があったとは考えづらい。だから無関係だ。高島が最後にお前にお礼を言ったとして、お前が何か後悔することじゃない。そんなバカな考えを持つのはやめろ。
うん。
ほら着いたぞ。
うん。
ったく元気出せよ。
うん。
じゃあな。
ありがとう。
ん？
I really like Moto 4's art here. I mean, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at Kotomi. And I'm like, man, the guy really can draw. Like, he can really design characters, man.
今日はいろいろありがとね、ユキと。
やっといつものテンションに戻ったか。とりあえずだ。ありがたいと思うなら明日は女っぽく起こしに来いよ。
女っぽい起こし方とは？
フェラ。
That's a good way to wake up.
死ぬほど下品なこと言おうとしたよね。ぶっ殺し状態待ったなしだぞ。
ほとんど言ってたけどな。
聞こえない。じゃあユキとバイバイ。
I'm surprised they're still good friends like that. Well, Kotomi might be super used to like Yukito being an asshole. Looks like she's feeling a little better. No fun teasing Kotomi with no energy.
なんか今日一日疲れたな。いろいろあったからな。
I go inside too.
今日はいろいろなことがあったな。
I like how he has like some sort of creepy poster or some shit. As I lie on my bed, I think back over everything. Wakatsuki, Kotomi, Otonashi Ayana, Ozawa and Takashima. Ayana is more interesting. Otonashi Ayana. It felt like it was the first time I'd met her, and yet it also didn't. It's a feeling that's really hard to wrap my head around.
そういえば 語り得ぬことには沈黙せねばならないなんて言ってたな。中二かよ。
Chew to. Chew to. Why did they translate Chudy as like edgy bullshit? Chudy is edgy bullshit. Anyway, I'll leave it to the translators to think of it as that. But like, it's a quote from Wittgenstein's Tractatus Logicus Philosophicus, the only work of his that was published during his life. Yeah, technically his second book was like, he didn't even publish it. It was kind of cobbled up together, posthumously published or something. And the funny thing is that the second book is like, you know, remember the first book I wrote? Fuck that, man. I grabbed my copy of it from the bookshelf. It opens with the words, "The world is all that is the case," and then goes on to outline a total of 526 declarative statements. It consists of 7 main propositions, the last of which is famous. Whereof one cannot speak, thereof one must be silent. And then it just ends. Which is, you know, I think he was trying to make a point that nothing is truly knowable, and that's why he ends the book right then and there after saying that line, because he was answering some sort of like fucking thing at that time, then decides to quit philosophy and all until he goes on to do other stuff and realize, oh man, I made a mistake. With it being a ridiculously hard read, I gave up on it partway through. I first heard of Wittgenstein through a biopic I saw, the final scene of which was especially well done. Oh, that got me curious. Let me actually check for some biopics of Wittgenstein. Experimental comedy. I'll probably look up in this. And I'll worry about that later on. I still remember it clearly. The philosopher's friend, Keynes, speaking to him as he lies on his deathbed. Keynes, man. Man, this guy. Keynes. Damn it. Keynes, man. Yeah. I remember him for like economics and like some mathematics related stuff. But I remember Europe was like a small. The circles back then were really small. Let me tell you a little story. There was once a man who dreamed of reducing the world to pure logic. Did Bernard Russell get mad during that time? he was kind of working on something like that. I remember. Like, you know what? I can't remember too much. It's been a while since I dabbled in philosophy myself. Because he was a very clever young man. He actually managed to do it. And when he finished his work, he stood back and admired it. It was beautiful. A world purged of imperfection and indeterminacy. Countless acres of gleaming ice stretching to the horizon. The clever young man looked around the world he created and decided to explore it. He took one step forward and fell flat on his back. Why had he fallen? You see, he'd forgotten about friction. The ice was smooth and level and stainless, but you couldn't walk there. So the clever young man sat down and wept bitter tears. For better or worse, I'm not as clever as this young man. So I guess I couldn't create the perfect world, nor weep in front of it. But I don't see this story as just an absurd tale. A world made out of pure logic. The world can't function with only logic. Even the grade schooler knows that. People who ended up thinking like that are saved from the very beginning. And so Kane's little story concludes as such. But as he grew into a wise old man, he came to understand that the roughness and ambiguity aren't imperfections. They're what make the world turn. He wanted to run and dance, and the words and things scattered upon the ground were all battered and tarnished and ambiguous. The wise old man saw that that was the way things were. But something in him was still homesick for the ice, where everything was radiant and absolute, unrelentless. Though he had come to like the idea of the rough ground, he couldn't bring himself to live there. So now he was marooned between earth and ice, at home in neither. And this was the cause of all his grief.
天才はツルツルの世界にもザラザラの世界でも安住できなかった。ただ天才はその世界を見つめていた。
That is a really rough place, man. That's a really rough place. Like, the world is an idealistic world and the actual world.
おとなしの中二のせいでちょっといい感じになっちまったぜ。
Imagine the dude just like randomly thinks about whatever the fuck Ayana talks about and grabs like the fucking book, PPC book, and just reads through it. Like, that alone would like, you know, he spends so much time just doing that.
そもそもウィトゲンシュタインの論理哲学論考を読めてない俺が映画見て分かった気になっているだけだがな。
Oh, so he didn't actually read the book. He's just like, okay. I'm still looking for the book, the film he's talking about. All I see is the 1993 comedy kind of thing. Wakatsuki Kotomi. Wakatsuki Kotomi. She must have been so shocked. I've been looking out for her ever since we were kids. It's been a long time since I've seen Kotomi so depressed. I hope she feels better tomorrow. I really hope nothing more like this happens. Oh, it only gets worse from here, man. It can only go down the rabbit hole from here. Jesus Christ, man. Ozawa Yuichi and Takashima Zakuro. To be honest, I don't know much about Takashima. I talked to her once or twice, but she never really opened up or anything. Well, I guess that's only natural. The only person who really opens up to me at school is Kotomi. Takashima didn't stand out much in class, but it wasn't like everyone bullied her or anything. That didn't mean she was well liked either, though. You might call her a loner, though I'd guess it'd be the same without Kotomi. Leaving that aside, I do know Ozawa well. He and I went to the same middle school. It's hard to imagine it now, but back then, he was a pretty earnest guy. We played as a battery on the same baseball team, so of course we knew each other. I was the pitcher and he was the catcher. But while I was in middle school, I had a bad shoulder injury, and so I told him that I couldn't play baseball anymore. Despite that, he still ended up going to Kita High with me. At first, he was excited about trying to make it to the big leagues without me, but that didn't even last half a year. Kita High isn't really an environment suited for baseball. The school grounds are too small for outdoor sports, so they chose to focus more into indoor ones. That's also why Kotomi's Kendo Club is so tough. Recently, the school's been focusing on swimming, even going so far as to install a new pool. I hear that after the old pool is demolished, they're also planning to build more facilities for indoor sports. As soon as Ozawa entered Kita High, it became clear he wasn't even able to keep on top of his grades, let alone competitive baseball. And so he found himself falling into delinquency. I got into an argument with him back in first year, and the next thing I knew, we were beating the shit out of each other. We were both big guys, so it was a pretty big deal. Apparently, there hadn't had a proper fight between students at the school for over a decade beforehand. After all was said and done, pretty much the whole school knew about it, and us. Ozawa quit playing baseball and got into smoking, drinking, and apparently drugs too. I've seen him hanging around with a couple weird guys from other schools a few times myself. I ignored him. He ignored me. Maybe we both just didn't want to see our fallen selves. From my point of view, he was a dropout delinquent who couldn't even keep up with his studies. From his point of view, I was a loner who wasted his life away doing nothing. So even if he did come all the way from other classes to see Takashima, I would have paid attention to him. I had nothing to do with him. I didn't want to have anything to do with him. Now, if those two had been dating or something, that would have made sense. But the notorious delinquent Ozawa and the quiet girl Takashima. No. There's no way that was normal. It's a wonder I didn't think anything of it. So if anything happened with them, I'm the only one to blame. It's not something Kotomi could have done anything about. Ozawa. I can't say I felt all that sad when he died. Hell, I might have felt a little happy. That guy was a part of me, another fallen version of myself. So when I heard that the reason he fell was that he had been taking drugs on the rooftop, I thought to myself, I guess another version of myself is dead. That was 3 days ago. Apparently, he hasn't even been given a proper funeral. And I don't even feel bad about it. I really am the fucking worst. The other thing bothering me is that Takashima jumped from the same building he fell off. In that case, were they dating after all? She committed suicide in the same place, hoping to see her boyfriend again? A lonely girl and the infamous delinquent. Could something like that really happen?
いや、それも違うか。
Man, Takashima's design here is so different. Like I'm given the impression that I get it that everyone has like a different personality in L, to the point that they have different voice actors and all. But like the impression I'm getting from Zakuro here versus the Zakuro in Tsubahime is so different. Like the one here in Tsui Sora is much more mature looking, while the one in Tsubahime is more childish, or more on the cutesy side kind of thing. Anyway, if it were, then what about what Takashima said to the Kotomi? That she's grateful for everything and
世界は滅亡の危機に瀕している。
that's a story that doesn't add up. Takashima and Ozawa. Just how are they connected? And why did they both die?
もう寝よ。また琴美に無理やり起こされるのも。
Which I bet is still going to happen.
Nostradamus の予言ってじゃない?
Oh wait, this is gonna be the promised day, man. I gotta be ready for this shit, man. Oh man, I'm so ready for this shit.
年の7の月に恐怖の大王が空から。
それならもう終わってるじゃない。7月も中旬だし。
でもね、あれも諸説あってね。
え、そうなの？
9月？今年の秋？けどそれだとさ。
嘘。
それに来年の。来年？ それ、推薦はどうなるの？
それならさ、今年の11月とかの話は知ってる？
なになに？
嘘
ならさ、
なにそれ
2012年だいぶ先じゃない？
Yeah, Subahibi takes place in 2012. I just remembered that.
マヤ文明で有名な予言でね。
だったら、今年の7月っていうのは？
And Tsui is like 1999, just before like the fucking, you know, because people thought like when the year became 2000, the world will end or some shit.
世界の滅亡は1999年の7月って昔から言われてたじゃない。
I wonder what it was like in July 1999, like for people in high school, because I was like super young at that point, and I don't think anyone in my circle were thinking about the world ending at that point. Although I did hear Nostradamus' name, but like not much really. Like, man, I can't remember what 1999 was like. I remember 1998 and 1997 more than 1999. I don't know what happened in 1999 anyway.
だったら今月中に世界って終わっちゃうわけ？
だからね。
What the hell are they on about? Yesterday, they were all riled up over Takashima's suicide. And today, it's Nostradamus' prophecies.
ノストラダムスの大予言か。
Come to think of it, I was pretty scared of those when I was a kid. Michel de Nostradamus was a Renaissance physician and astrologer. He used his own unique astrology to publish Les Prophéties. I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm not French, man. A collection of his prophecies. It's written in the form of a 4-line poetry, and it's so difficult to understand that it can be interpreted in several ways, making the prediction seem like they could be referring to anything depending on the interpretation. Maybe that's why it's been met with praise from the likes of royalty and nobles ever since it was first written. Because of this, Nostradamus had many imitators and fakes. Furthermore, due to its complex nature, it spawned a dedicated following of readers who have struggled to understand it over the years. It's said that the Second World War led to it becoming even more impactful. Due to the global unrest at that time, Nostradamus received a strange amount of attention in occult circles. Even the likes of the Nazis are said to have utilized the prophecies by selectively taking the parts that were convenient for them. Oh wait, that kind of randomly reminded me. Mamiya Takaji's best friend, Adolf Hitler. I wonder if they still have that line in the Sora, man. The good old friend. Let's continue. The influence died down after the war, but as the end of the 20th century drew near, Nostradamus' prophecy saw a resurgence in popularity. Although he was already known among enthusiasts and avid readers, beforehand, a recently published best-selling book brought Nostradamus into the limelight across all of Japan. The year 1999, the 7th month, and the Great King of Terror. With these easily understandable phrases, the book was widely covered on TV as a book prophesizing the extinction of humanity. I think it was seen as some sort of symbol of misfortune for Japan, which had experienced consistent economic growth since after the war that had come back to haunt us. Global pollution, the Cold War, nuclear threat, and other yet unseen fears grew in the people of this prospering nation, taking the form of Nostradamus' prophecies. In fact, this meaningless anxiety during such prosperity took on a strange form, bringing forth several social problems.
高島のやつ、世界の滅亡とか言ってたんだよな。
Bro, I'm ready for the Kyusei, man.
世界の終わりか。
I'm so ready for the Kyusei. In a sense, it's a simple but powerful principle. Excess fortune is paid for with excess debt. In other words, the disaster of humanity's extinction that everyone easily understands may paradoxically be a story that reassures us. Maybe. No. Definitely. Once this is all past us, everyone will look back on it as a ridiculous delusion. But right now, we live in an unending, peaceful, happy, and boring age, with a future and life ahead already promised to us. The idea that we'll be punished with extinction one hot summer day in 1999, at the turn of the millennium, it feels almost like salvation in a way.
1999年の夏、ガキの頃に思っていた人類滅亡の日が間近に近づくと。
I actually wonder how people born after the 2000s would read the visual novel and think about it. Because I'm a 90s kid. No, actually, am I 90s? I wasn't technically born in the 90s, but it's close enough that like I'm basically a 90s kid. But like, you know. Anyway, most people dabbling in visual novels and the ones that I encounter in fucking X, Twitter, or whatever the fuck you call it nowadays, are most likely folks born after like 2000. So I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, but I've subconsciously convinced myself that's completely impossible. The day of destruction that everyone fears and wishes to avoid. The closer it gets, the more it seems like a flimsy lie. Nowadays, you can find the books of Nostradamus prophecies in bargain bins for measly 100 yen a piece. That's how far the price of the sin we both fear and desire has fallen.
Yukito.
なんだ？
なんか変な感じだね。みんな少しざわついてる。
ワクワクしてそうか？
いや、そこまでは思わないんだけど。
そうだよな。
I agree with Kotomi. Things certainly seem off. But to tell the truth, that's not exactly what I think. Anxiety and anticipation resemble one another, and fear and excitement aren't that different either. Sorrow is probably just another form of happiness. That's why when a person is overcome with fear, their face twists into an expression that resembles eager anticipation.
どうしたの？難しい顔して。
いや、なんでもない。それよりさ、ことみ。
何？
外の空気でも吸いに行かないか？
外の空気？
ああ。
こんな場所入って大丈夫なの？
でも気分いいだろ？
まあ、確かに景色は綺麗だけど。
風も心地いいんじゃないか？
確かに。
それで、ことみは何が不安なんだ？
不安？
ああ、なんか不安そうだったからここに連れてきた。あの教室じゃ落ち着かないだろ？
それは確かにそうなんだけど。
よもやことみまでノストラダムスの大予言が怖いとかじゃないだろうな。
ノストラダムスか。そういえばその予言って今年の7月なんだよね。
ああ、そうだ。なんかクラスの連中も騒いでたじゃないか。
違うよ。
違う？何が？
ノストラダムスの予言はあの人たちなりの証拠の一つでしかないんだよ。
どういう意味だ？
ものすごくバカバカしい話なんだけどね。高島さんの自殺は世界の終わりに備えてのものだったってみんな噂しているの。
世界の終わりに備えて自殺？なんだそりゃ。
1999年の7月、その20日に高島さんが死ぬ直前に私に話していたのだけど。
高島ってお前以外の人間とも喋れたのか？
私以外の誰かに話したかわからない。ただその話が広まっているみたいなんだよ。
Maybe someone overheard her tell Kotomi about it. Or maybe did she tell someone else? Either way, it's still creepy. Even I, who doesn't believe in it at all, would be a little uneasy if that happened to me.
高島さんの予言って ノスタラダムスの予言と一致しているじゃない。だから実はあの予言って本当なんじゃないかってみんなが噂してるのよ。ユキトはどう思うの？
まあ不気味だとは思うよ。クラスで目立たない少女が世界の終わりを告げ、そして飛び降りる。ましてやその前に小沢の転落死があるわけだ。普通でいられないのもわからないでもないさ。
それって
特にさ、俺たち3年は不安な学年じゃないか。将来どうするかをこの1年で決めなきゃいけない。俺たちがまだガキだった頃は景気も良くてさ、就職のことなんて考えなくてもどうにかなったわけじゃん。けど今じゃどれだけいい大学に行ってどれだけ安定した会社に勤めるかでその後の人生が決まる。
Like how nothing changed since 1999. It's still like it's been like this all this time, man. Actually, I think it's worse nowadays.
とは言ってもこの国は裕福だから別に就職しなくても死なないし、誰しもがまあまあな生活をすることが約束されている。
Oh man, considering Japan's current situation right now, man, damn son.
終わらない平凡で平和で退屈だがそれなりに幸福な日常。
I wonder if someone will make a fucking essay about like Superheavy from I mean Tsui and Sora from like they consider like the cultural aspect of what was Japan's atmosphere during that time, man. Because I was thinking about like, sure, it's talking about like all the philosophy books and all, and ideas that's going around. But you have to consider like at least what led to them like being so anxious and feeling like fucking more into believing that the world's ending. I mean, especially Yukito did mention their years about to get into college. I think I also had something like that before I got into college. Like during my last year of high school, I also had a similar feeling of like fucking anxiousness and all. Of course, after it was kind of weird. Like high school versus and the last day of high school versus the high school of college was like two different things. Like the anxiousness with like going from high school to college was like so extreme, but like college was like, because how much like university kind of preps gets you prepared for like joining society or adult life or whatever shit they call it. It feels more like I can start to feel like I'm doing something in life, versus opposed to high school. I feel like the end of high school was like everything I knew was gonna end. Things can't be like this. It can't stay like this forever. That the times that when I just enjoyed life and all that shit. But anyway, I was just randomly thinking about like if anyone would like look into like Japan's the feelings and the worries of people during that time, and connecting that to all the fucking philosophy. But I'll also go through this visual novel and find out maybe just a minor point in what's going on in this visual novel. But like the beginning premise of the story was like hinges upon like this anxiety of things.
受験なんて山場があるわけだし、みんなピリピリしている。そんな中であんなことがあったら、一種お化け屋敷的なお祭り感があるだろう。
お化け屋敷的なお祭り感って？
いや、二人の死は不幸だと思うし、決してそれを茶化していいものではないさ。けどさ、そういうものすら今の俺たちには日頃のはけ口になったりするんだと思うよ。
はけ口？
なあ。だからさ、決していいことではないんだけど、人間なんてそんなもんだって、ある程度開き直った方がいい。逆にあいつらと一緒にコトミまで不安になってたら、お前まで精神がやられるぞ。多分さ、みんなが思う不安って、今が平和すぎて退屈すぎて 当たり前すぎることに対してなんだと思う。
平和で退屈で当たり前なら怖がることなんてないんじゃないの？
いや逆だよ。案外人は約束された幸せってやつに耐えられないんだと思う。それがいつか壊れるんじゃないかって不安がある。多分ノストラダムスの予言とか今回の高島の件とかそういう心情の裏返しだと思うよ。
Wait, give me a second. I kind of spaced out. I think I'm also like thinking about something in my brain and kind of got lost.
実際将来のこととかいろいろ考えたらめんどくさすぎて、いっそのこと世界が滅亡しちゃえばいいやとか思ったりするじゃん。
I suddenly remember like a friend. I was having like a conversation with a friend. Like some like, would you ever wish like the school ever got hit with like a terrorist attack? Like, what the fuck do you do during that time? Like, you know, just a huge divorce from your current reality and obligations.
私はそんなの思ったことないけど、そういうものなのかな。
コトミは目標があって頑張ってるわけじゃない。そんなやつにとっては滅亡とか迷惑なもんでしかないよ。けど多くの人間には目標なんてなくて、ただなんとなく頑張らなきゃいけない、ちゃんと生きなきゃいけないって日々を過ごしている。その全てを清算してくれるような言葉があったら怖いけど救われたりもするんだよ。
ユキトとかもそうなの？
いや、さすがに俺はそこまで純粋じゃないよ。誰かに突然世界が終わると言われたら単にそいつをバカな人だなって思うだけ。時期が時期だし一過性なもんだよ。あまり気にすることはないさ。それよりコトミは地区予選があるんだろ？
うん、そうだね。なんかユキトって不思議だよね。
何が？
いつでも私を簡単に安心させてくれるんだよ。欲しい言葉を与えてくれる。
Well, he's been looking after her for so long, right?
そっか、それはよかったよ。さてと、そろそろ戻ろうぜ。
本当だ、もうこんな時間だ。
Are we gonna get? Oh, I think it's the scene. We're getting the scene soon. Oh no, it's not. It's not. Was it July 15? I thought it was like. Oh man, I can't remember the dates exactly anymore. I decided to wait for Kotomi after school again today. Despite what I said to her, I'm also a little concerned. Ozawa and Takashima's deaths, and Takashima supposedly speaking of the end of the world. Those ridiculous yet alluring words surprisingly struck a chord with people, and nobody wanted it. Those words wouldn't keep being repeated. Although, when I think about Insubahebe, they had like the additional shock factor because of the fucking school. The school had its own message board, but since this is like it takes place in 1999, I don't know how PBS if it was popular to have some BBS system up, whatever. People fear the end of the world, but in some way, you could also say that they await it too. Thus, they will continue to repeat those words. Think about it. Nostradamus' prophecies were most popular when the world was at its most peaceful. Maybe they were popular because of the peace, and so they repeated the apocalypse. On a related note, maybe that's why there's a lot of people who are into fucking Dampa right now. There's nothing much going on at their own level, you know. If nobody desired it, they wouldn't speak of it. But well, it's not to say that I also like, you know, yeah, during times when I get some craving to read some Dampa related work or some fucking sad, depressing. I forgot the specific term of genre for visual novel for it. Usually when there's really not much going on in my life. But anyway. But haven't we already grown tired of this supposed apocalypse? 4 years ago, a new religious movement sprayed poisonous gas in the subway. The 1996 incident. This is the reason why you try to walk around Tokyo. I don't know if, and also like major cities in Japan, you wouldn't find like a trash bin. Like, you know how in public you're just used to like finding like somewhere you can just throw your bottle or some shit. Well, there's a lot of places where you can throw your bottle, but like if you have something else that isn't like a pet bottle or whatever, some shit like tissue or something, you're gonna be kind of forced to hold on to it unless you bought something from a shop, and you can just ask the shop person to just take care of the trash for you. But like, yeah, this is the exact reason why you don't have some trash cans in fucking major cities in Japan. In public, at least. They also believe that the Armageddon was approaching. Then many other religious movements also fear and long for the ending of the end of the world over the last 2 decades, as this end of century was drawing near. 1999, the end of a century, growing ever closer. Yet as the day approaches, all the talk about the end of the world has faded away. July 1999. The day of annihilation seems ever feebler and more laughable as the day approaches. The object of our childhood fear is nothing to us now.
Minakami senpai?
Nice, Yasuko's here.
誰？
ひどいです。Minakami senpai は私のことをまだ覚えてくれてないのですか？やすこですよ。剣道部部長の若月先輩の後輩の。
逆になんで俺が琴美の部活の後輩の名前を覚えてなければならない？
ああ、開き直った。最悪だこの人。あれですよ、同じクラスにお兄ちゃんがいるじゃないですか。
I suddenly remembered Yasuko's older brother Tsui is an asshole. It's part of the asshole club. But I can imagine Tsui and Sora, it's a little bit different.
同じクラスの人間は他人だからな。そんな奴の妹を覚えているわけがない。
もういいですよ。とりあえず私は横山やす子です。ちゃんと名前を覚えてくださいね。
善処する。
次会って覚えてなかったら承知しませんよ。
Looks like the future me won't be getting off easy then.
それより、琴美先輩は？
もう部活行ったぞ。
そうなんですか。
一足違いだな。
そっか。
She droops her shoulders.
琴美は部活に行ったんだから、早く追いかけたらどうだ？
Minakami先輩って、琴美先輩にすごく信頼されているんですよね。
そうなのか？よく知らないが。
琴美先輩がいつもMinakami先輩と話していると安心するって言ってました。
そうか。それで？
なんというか、少しバカバカしい質問なんですけどね。世界は今月の20日に滅びるんですか？
なんだそれ。
世界の終わりが近づいてるって本当なんですか？
The way she said it bothers me. Rather than say something like, "Didn't you hear the crazy rumor?" She asked me straight up, like it's a genuine possibility.
違う学年の生徒までそんな馬鹿げたことを言い出してるのか。
教えてください。
逆に質問だが、もし仮に人類が滅びるとして、あと6日でどうやって滅びるんだ？
わかりませんけど、例えば核戦争とか。
お前キューバ危機とか習わなかったのか？
That's a good reference.
キューバ危機？
なあ、マジで世界大戦が現実味を帯びてきて、核戦争で人類が滅亡するんじゃないかって言われたほどの事件だ。
And even up to now, people are still sometimes that topic kind of gets around. There's always like that story about like that one guy who heard like an order from the USSR to fire the missiles, but he decided not to, or something like that. There were a lot of things going on during that time, man. Because a lot of people were so afraid that like it would erupt into World War III right then and there. But you know, that was like we're looking at in retrospective kind of thing. But you know, it's kind of different when you're. Imagine you just heard the news like missiles in Cuba, and there was a risk that they were going to be launched to the U.S. and you were just some random schmuck in like fucking Manhattan and be like, fuck, what am I gonna do, man?
だったらそんな感じで。
キューバ危機は確かに10日間ほどで緊張が一気に高まったわけだが、そもそもその状況に至るまでには長いプロセスがある。その大きな背景には米ソ冷戦という構図がある。
Basically, you get this going like, you know, these things don't just randomly happen.
ソ連が崩壊してベルリンの壁が壊されて冷戦が終わった今、一体どの国が人類を破滅させるほどの戦争を起こすんだ？
Well, you know, in a lot of years later, in 2020, in 25 years later, you know, in 2024, there's still a lot of things that got people anxious that it could spark an actual, like, long-winded war.
だったら巨大隕石が落下するとかそんな映画ありましたよね。
確かに巨大隕石が落下すれば人類は滅亡するかもしれない。だが6日後に落ちてくるのならそもそも NASA あたりが発表するだろ
う。To be fair, something like that. You know, I don't know, man. There's always a belief that things are very much capable of, like, you know, there are a lot of things set up in a way that would, like, you know, there's like an early warning system set up that will help us prevent, you know, be ready for something like this or not. But like, I don't know. This was in 1999, right? And since then to up to now, there were a lot of things that just kind of happened out of nowhere. And it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like, if you look into the history of things in retrospective, you know, it kind of makes sense because you can someone was able to identify some causal factor that'll lead to event A leading to B to C to D. But like when you're at the moment and, you know, like let's say banks all randomly decide to collapse, like a lot of people got their, were caught with their pants down. They didn't know why it happened. I mean, maybe a few people did see it coming, but like a lot of people like didn't take too much notice into it. So this is, but I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of like the natural calamity that happened. There's a couple of natural calamities that happened. Even one in Japan, you know. Like, I don't know. I don't know the full context. Maybe there were a couple of natural calamities that I'll get back to this, but I need to look into it. But it feels like there's a couple of natural calamities that, you know, early warning systems weren't early enough to let you know that something was going to go wrong.
みんなが混乱するから NASA が公表を渋っているとか。
That's also a good counterpoint.
お前、世の中にどれだけのアマチュア天文学者がいると思ってるんだ？たまにあの人たちは世界的な発見とかするんだぞ。
だったら
6日で世界が滅びるなんてありえない。どんな条件だとしても滅亡するには短すぎる。
じゃあ滅びないってことですか？
仮に宇宙人が攻めてきたとしてもいきなり人類を絶滅させないだろう。6日間なんて短い期間に滅ぼすことなんて誰もできないよ。
I was about to say something about like Half-Life 2, but then I realized technically humanity wasn't completely wiped out after the 46-hour war or some shit. 40, I don't know how many hours that was. But that was a war that only took around 40 hours.
誰もですか？
まあ6日間で世界を作った神様なら壊すのも6日間ぐらいかもしれないが、
神様なら世界を終わらせられるのですか
6日間で作ったような神様ならそれも可能だろうが、そもそもこの世界は神が作ったもんじゃない。
Here we go, science man.
世界は神様が作ったものじゃないのですか？
いや、お前がキリスト教徒ならすまない。神様が世界を作っていると信じているのなら。
あ、いえ、大丈夫です。うちの実家のお墓は法華経です。神様のイメージってパンチパーマの大仏様なぐらいですから。
A punch perm. Yikes.
考えてみればそうですよね。
Wait, what the hell's a punch perm? Like, I don't know what that
なん
looks
か
like.
ちょっとおかしなこと聞いちゃいましたね。
What does a punch perm even look like? Damn, son. I don't want to see that shit ever again.
おかしいって自覚はあったのか？
そりゃありますよ。あと6日間で世界が終わるなんてちょっと考えられませんし。
ならなんで聞いたんだ？
いや、なんと言いますか、みんながそんなこと言い出したから。
みんなが言い出したからか。
はい。
With that word, she falls silent.
まだ何かあるのか？
いえ、大丈夫です。いや、水上先輩に言われてなんか安心しました。やっぱりおかしいですよね。私何聞いちゃったんだろう。
まあおかしいと思うのならあんまその話はするな。
はい、そうします。じゃあ部活行きます。
ああ。
Emotions are contagious. Someone might seem calm on the surface, but they may be unconsciously inflicted with others' emotions. Sometimes it's joy, happiness, laughter, but often the emotions we're most easily affected with are anger and fear. Joy gives way to madness, and before you know it, riots are broken out. You see that kind of thing a lot throughout history. That's why politicians sometimes consider even festive gatherings to be dangerous. Emotions are easily transmittable, like a virus, if you think about it. The virus can spread in a wide open area, where people are far apart. Ooh. That's also one thing that a lot of people weren't ready to encounter. The coof. The coof. The coof of 2020. It's most easily transmitted the closer and more clustered people are to each other. Oh man, we wasted so much of our lives there during that time. That was a waste of life, man.
不安定だな。
I don't really know how to put it, but something about the atmosphere feels almost insecure. I guess that's only natural in a school where two people just died. I glance out the window while lost in thought.
あれは
For an instant, I see a figure standing in a very unusual spot. Someone's at the unused old pool. Why? I'm overcome with a weird feeling of anxiety as I look at them.
俺まで感情に汚染されたか？
I spit the words out angrily. I'm annoyed, frankly. You're telling me I've been scared by those stupid ass rumors going around. A whirlpool of idiotic emotions that aren't rational at all. The fact that I can even be subconsciously influenced by something like that pisses me off. Trying to sweep away my anxiety, I head for the figure. Yo, the Kusasha is here! Holy shit! Kusasha is here, man. There she stands.
マミヤ、またここにいるのか？なんでお前はこんな場所にいる？
Mamiya Takaji turns toward me.
やあ、Minakami君。こんにちは。
The edges of his lips twisted to a smile.
君なら、もしかしたらわかるかもしれないね。
俺ならわかる。何がだ？
だが、君に挨拶はしないよ。
挨拶？
なぜならば、僕の前に立つ人間が本物であるかどうかを見極めなければならないんだ。
Oh yeah, boy, the bro is having a schism moment. Oh man, he's already having a schizo moment right here and right then and there.
本物かどうかって何の話だ？
だから僕からは挨拶しないよ。
挨拶ってお前何を？
今はね、ちょうど三角なんだよ。
三角？
そうだよ。今の状態はまさに三角形なんだよ。
二人しかいないのになんで三角状態になるんだよ。
そう、そこだよ。2点であるものは本来なら直線上に結ばれることになるはずだ。ただしそれは幾何学的空間と時間においてでしかないんだ。でもね、そうじゃないんだよ。幾何学の問題ではないんだ。これはそういう問題じゃないからこそ大変なんだよ。あるいはいや、それこそだ。君がもしここに来てくれれば、ここに来ることができるならば四角形になり得る。
Nice. He's going full schizo. I like this shit.
四角形？いや違う。三角錐の頂点を中心に並べれば球体になる。球体であるということは。
マミヤ、聞きたいのだが。
いいな。断じていいなだ。僕はね、僕からはそれをなさないんだよ。
You remember Takashi's perspective, at least from Tsui, he's having a conversation with someone else or something like that. You know what? I'm just gonna wait for his fucking chapter, man.
君が決めるんだ。そうだよ。そうだよ。君が決めるべき問題なんだ。だから僕はもう行くよ。さらばだよ。
Saying that, Mamiya disappears.
なんだあいつ。
Crazy. Doesn't even begin to describe it. That could hardly be called a conversation at all. Never mind the fact I couldn't understand a word coming out of his mouth. But
他の連中と違って世界が終わるとか滅亡するとか高島桜の死とかそういう話はしないんだな。
I want to find some relief in that. But for some reason, I find the fact he wasn't talking about any of that stuff like the rest of the school to be more concerning. I look up at the sky and then I catch a glimpse of a figure on the roof of building B.
あれは
I head for the route. Standing there is one Otonashi Ayana.
お前またこんなところにいたのか？
うん、
空見ているのか？
うん。
I follow Otonashi's gaze. Yo! It's our bro. Wait, it's here. Okay, it's our bro over there. Wait. Okay, my background's kind of weird. Okay, it's over here. It's our bro.
どうしたの？
いやお前が見てたのってまた対の空とかいうやつ？
いいえ、違う空。
そっか。
違う空。
私が見ていたのは対の空。
え？それだったら同じだろ。
ほら、あそこで走っている。
え？
She points over at the school gate.
あれは
6は実にソーセージにして神より生まれたる聖戦なり。
While pointing, Otonashi suddenly recites something.
6？ソーセージ？
The word six sticks out to me because of all the talk about there being only 6 days left. I feel like I've heard that sentence somewhere before.
なんだよそれ。
祖は老朽に陥ることなければ、子供らは太陽よ、対をなしてその上に立てり。
対をなしてその上に立つ。その死って
謎の死。
謎の？
That's it. I know where I've heard.
それよりも、ユキト君は彼を追わなくていいの？
なぜ？
それはあなたがMinakamiユキトだから。
なんで俺だから追わなきゃいけないんだよ。
連れ立つともなる2羽のわしは同一の気を抱けり。
くそ、なんで間宮拓司なんかを。
I remember a bit about what Otonashi is reciting, and for some reason at the moment I take off running.
おい、間宮！
Yo, our bro.
あ、君もここに来たんだね。ちゃんと断りを学んでいるかい？君は体だけの存在でしかない。魂は体には宿らないんだよ。だから僕みたいに断りを学ばなければならないんだ。
なんだ、俺には魂がないみたいな言い方だな。
そうだよ。確かに君の体は賢い。賢い体と魂は区別がつかないんだ。精巧に作られた自動機械は自らに魂があると錯覚してしまう。
自動機械？どういう意味だ？俺がアンドロイドかなんかだと言いたいのかよ。
比喩だよ。君はアンドロイドじゃない。だけれどもタンパク質であるという以外は大した違いはないかもしれないね。ただの肉だって考えられるのだからさ。だけれども考えることと魂があることは違う。霊的自動機械であるということはタンパク質であるという必然性ではないんだよ。
意味がわからねえ。
魂を得ていないからさ。君は魂が宿っていると錯覚している体なんだよ。けど安心していい。断りを学ばなくても十分世界を知ることができる。ちょうど電卓の計算が僕よりも早いように、君の体は僕の断りすら及ばない認識に至ることもあるかもしれない。
You know what? I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about. I'm also equally confused.
だが断りを学ばなければ僕のように悟れないよ。悟れなければそれ以上の認識など想像すらできないよ。断りによって動き出せばすでにそこには思考はいらず、君の精神は一定の法則に従って活動する、いわば霊的自動機械になるだろう。弁証法的高次元の認識に向かい登りたまえ。必ずそこで魂を得るだろう。
マミヤ、
What the fuck? Teleports away. Mamiya vanishes.
なんなんだ。
Are you trying to tell me Yukito is also having DID? What the fuck? I really don't know what the story about Tsui and Sora. Like, my brain currently interprets that those are actually two different people. But I'm not surprised if DID also exists in this game, considering they had that shit going on for, like, Subahibi. So. I turn toward the school building and see him running.
おい、待て。
I feel kind of dizzy for a second there, like my vision was covered by mist. Maybe my emotions are all over the place. Is that why I feel like this? Why am I getting so worked up over? Mamiya is drawing something on the blackboard with his complete and undivided attention. The whole board is covered. Did he just draw all that? No, that's impossible. It didn't even take 10 seconds for me to catch up with him. So in that case, were those drawings already there? Here?
この数式がわかるかな。
数式って。
What Takaji is drawing on the blackboard is no formula. It's just a bunch of scribbles and drawings.
ただの落書きだろ。
Mamiya holds up a finger.
落ち着いて。今は四角形の理論を書いているんだ。非常に難しい理論なんだよ。
四角の理論だと？
He isn't drawing any kind of quadrilateral. Just a scribble of what I assume is meant to be a girl.
俺にはアニメか何かの絵に見えるけど。
そうだよ。よくわかったね。これは2次元と3次元の比喩的論法なんだよ。
Bro is going full skizzle right now.
下手くそなアニメが2次元と3次元の比喩だと？
そう。少しは分かってきたみたいだね。アニメの語源はアニメーション。つまり四角いディスプレイという意味から派生しているんだ。
いや違うだろう。ラテン語だかのアニマが語源で生命を吹き込むだろう。
確かにディスプレイは四角い。
Totally ignores the dude.
今までが三角だからね。少し待って。最終式の証明が終わる。
最終式？
はあ、なんてことだ。できたぞ。
He just drew more sloppy looking anime characters.
水上くん、君はこれを理解してもいいよ。
何をどう理解すればいいんだよ。
それは君次第じゃないか。じゃあ僕はもう行くよ。
おい、マミヤ。
では。
Mamiya leaves the classroom. I immediately give chase. He's not here? For a second, I think he's vanished into thin air. But then I see that one of the windows in the corridor has been left open.
窓から逃げたのか。ちきしょ。
What the hell am I even doing? That guy's just fucking with me.
バカかよ。
I grab my chest. My heart is beating like crazy.
ストレスで立ちくらみか。それと変なもんを見たから。
Even though I said that fear was contagious, how can I be so pathetic? Look at the open window. The roof of building B is empty.
ごめん。なんかいつも
何が？
待っている時間退屈でしょ？
いや、別に。
けど、どうしたのユキト？なんか上の空だけど。
なあ、少し考え事をしてた。ぼーっとしてるんじゃなくて考え事してんだよ。横山やす子っているよな。
うん。剣道部の後輩だね。
どんなやつだ？
なんでそんなこと聞くの？
いや、あと6日間で世界が終わるかどうか聞かれて。
あ、そういえばそんな話やすこちゃんしてた。
部活出てたんだろ？どうだった？
普通だったかな。でも着替えの時の雰囲気がいつもと違ったけど。
いつもと違う？
なんか彼女らしくなかった。
不安定だな。まだ世界の終わりが気になるのか？
あのさ、ユキト。
なんだ？
世界は終わらないんだよね。
当たり前だ。
当たり前だよね。そんな当たり前がなんでみんな信じられなくなっていくんだろう。
Something obvious getting harder to believe. Why is that happening?
明日は朝練があるんだ。だからさ、明日迎えに来れないんだよ。遅刻しちゃダメだから。
ああ、わかってるよ。
本当にわかってるのかな？
お前が来ないからゆっくり寝れるってことだろ？
違う。ちゃんと起きるんだぞ。
冗談だよ。
本当わかってるのかな？
わかってるよ。
そう。ならよろしいでしょ。じゃあね。
Kotomi waves goodbye.
ああ。
I see her off. We're scared. Kotomi is scared. And I am too. We're all anxious. The thing we feared so much as children. The end of the world. And as we grew up, we denied it as an impossibility. But even if we deny it, something undeniable still remains. Because that undeniable bit is an emotion that resembles desire. Maybe it's not that we're anxious about the end of the world, but rather we're anxious that the unending world is a world without an end. In other words, the world itself might be what's frightening. We all try to deny it, but it's impossible to do so. The final smile, that is the unending world, it may be just nothing more than the flip side of our unending daily lives. So, no matter how much they've told the world won't end, people don't listen. It's precisely because the world is never ending that they're afraid it will end. Is it a paradox like that possible? I guess it might be. The concepts of something being unending and ending are inseparable. It's only by contrasting each other that they're able to exist. They are not separate things. They're two sides of the same coin. Meaning, they're the same thing. And at any time, that coin can be flipped on its head. At any time, flipped on its head? We're afraid of the absurdity of our lives. We're cursing the fact that we are born. Life and death exist as opposites and form a pair. That's why we fear death. The word death is a distinct from nothingness. Maybe that's what this is about. That's what I think. I'm not certain, but still, I think that maybe humans greet fear with hope in their hearts. I didn't hear the sound effect. That's kind of weird. I'm as late as ever.
くそ、コンビニの店員め、ちんたらレジやるから遅刻しそうじゃねえか。
It only cost me 5 minutes, but
この言い訳で、コトミは納得するだろうか。
yeah, as if.
ギリギリセーフだな。
Well, I am late for homeroom, but it doesn't give me any credit, so I don't care.
いつもはうるさいだけだと思ってたけど、いなくてわかるコトミの大切さというやつか。
Oh, it's time! It's time. Holy shit, it's time. While thinking, I calmly opened the door to the classroom and am met with shouts from two familiar voices. What the hell? Kotomi and Mamiya are arguing? That's something you see every day. Scratch that. Not something I'd ever could have imagined.
たまらないから、そっちこそ黙るべきなんだからね。
Here we are. It's time.
なんだと、このバカ女。
チビ。
なんだと、悟りを開いた者に対してチビとは。
Half pint. Is that like how the translation for Chibi is half pint? What the hell is that supposed to mean?
小さな人間はお前だ。
そんなこと言ってるんじゃありませぬ。みんな不安なんだから、適当なこと言わないでくださいって話だよ。
適当なことではない。真実だ。
ちょっと待て。二人ともとりあえず落ち着け。
ユキト。
何やってるんだよ、こんな朝っぱらから大声出して。
水上くんか。僕は君を高く評価しているのだが、そんなバカ女と付き合ってるとろくなことはない。バカは伝染するから付き合いを断つべきだ。
はあ、今なんて言ったかな。
いや、コトミとは付き合ってるわけじゃないのだが、粗暴だし。
否定するのそこか。そこじゃないよね。
いや、とりあえず落ち着けってばさ。
落ち着いています。というか今の発言。
I like his, that is a concern.
ああ？だったらコトミとは付き合ってる。それでいいんだな。
いや、お付き合いとかの話じゃなくて。
Damn, childhood friend won today. Holy shit.
そうなの？付き合っていると思ってた。
そんなことないって。ねえ、ユキトと私はそんなんじゃなくて、単に幼馴染なんだけどですね。
付き合ってねえよ。当たり前だろ。あるわけねえよ。とりあえず場を和ませただけだ。
終わりだ、コトミさん。Felt bad. It wasn't real.
お前どこから音出しているんだよ。とりあえず落ち着けって。
僕は落ち着いてるよ。
What's his problem?
そのバイダが騒ぎ立てているだけだ。
バイダって。君は言っていいことと悪いことがあって、貴様が言ったのはダメなやつだ。
That Kisama. That Kisama. Fuck. I love that sound effect. Like you even hear that in Tsui. It's like but for some reason in Soy the Sora, they really umped up the sound effect. Like you hear that in Tsubahibia, it's totally normal, but here in Tsui the Sora, it's so loud. Alright. The big scene is near. I'm ready to go full schedule, man.
なぜ若月は立っている？授業だぞ、座れ。はい。Minakamiもさ、サボるのはいいけど、授業の邪魔をするなよ。はい。
Damn, teachers seem to hold on to the impression that they have with you forever. Still won't shut up about that fight from first year. This guy is no exception.
授業を始めるぞ。前回は教科書の67ページからだな。アウグスティヌスの哲学的施策は西方教会にとどまらず、西洋思想全体に及んでいてだな。
The Japanese students actually learn this shit early on. Like, I understand in college, but like in high school? Fucking Gotham's philosophical speculations. What the hell?
先生。
あ、なんだお前。
ずっと立ってましたよ。名前もお忘れですか？
名前、その席は出席番号。ああ、間宮か。
やはり先生も低俗な人なのです。
I'm ready for this shit. It's a scene that usually would have been met with laughter. But the teacher had noticed Mamiya was still standing even after the class had started and had even forgotten his name. In response, Mamiya had called him vulgar. Mamiya Takashima is a nobody, someone who wouldn't make much of a difference whether he was here or not. And with that in mind, the whole thing usually would have been enough to make my classmates burst into laughter. But the class is enveloped in silence. It's like the air itself has frozen over.
なんか言ったか、マミヤ。そもそもなんでまだ立っているんだ？今授業中だぞ。
授業？はっ。世界が終わるというのに授業ですか？
マミヤ、お前。
世界が終わるというのになんて悠長な。日常バイアスとは恐ろしいものですね。
The tension circulates throughout the room. Unable to say a word, the class just stares. Right now, it's like a heavenly light is scudding through the chill of frozen air. Heavenly light, holding us in place to illuminate a single person and its radiance.
マミヤ、お前何言ってるんだ？世界の終わりだと。
何をですか？はあ、やはり真実が見えないのですね。
最近妙な噂が立っていて俺も迷惑しているんだ。くだらないこと言ってないで座れ、マミヤ。
くだらない？どちらがくだらないことを言ってると思っているのか。
なんだと？お前な、お前みたいな奴が教師に逆らってどうなるか分かってるのか？
低俗すぎて嬉しくなります。あなたのように包み隠さず生徒に序列をつけるやり方嫌いではありませんよ。
序列なんてつけてないぞ。傷ってならんな、マミヤ。
いやいや、いいんですよ。スクールカーストにおいて底辺は相手に値せず、カースト上位にこびればクラスは円滑に回る。非常に合理的だ。
だからお前少し黙れ。
さすが世界史の教師だ。歴史なんて勝者が殴り書きしたざれ言に過ぎないのに、さらに言えば人間より高次元な存在。例えば神や悪魔と呼ばれるものが5秒前に作り出しただけなのかもしれないのに。
The teacher leaves his desk and approaches Mamiya.
どちらにしろ歴史など作り話でしかない。過去など現在に存在しない空想と変わらない存在だ。
マミヤ、少し外に出るか。
ましたや、世界が終わるというのにまだそんな作り話を続けようとしているのですか。
いい加減にしろマミヤ。とりあえず俺と来い。
あなたと僕が。
The teacher falters at the glint of madness in those eyes.
歴史が作り話なわけがないだろう。それにその世界の終わりというのは何だ。最近生徒たちが怯えているが、お前がその噂を立てていたのか。
噂？何を言ってるのですか。僕は真実を話しているのです。
真実だと。
あなたは弱い人間だ。小さい人間だ。だから大いなる存在の僕を見ることができない。小さなアリは象を認識することができない。小さなアリにとって象は大地のような存在だ。同じようにあなたのような小さきものに僕など見ることができるわけもない。
いいからちょっと職員室まで来い。
The teacher grasps his frail arm.
理屈で勝てないから暴力で来るのですか。
マミヤ。
Mamiya's eyes open wide. His bloodshot eyeballs seem to glint an illusionary crimson. It's not just the teachers. Every person in that room feels fear as they look into those eyes. And then in that instant, the sound of glass shattering echoes loudly throughout the classroom. The sound of glass shattering, followed by dead silence. And the sight of a broken flower vase, with a teacher fallen to the ground, blood pouring from his head. The blood spreads quickly across the floor. Someone screams. Mamiya's insane wide eyes fixate on them, as if looking into their very soul.
どうしたのですか。あれ、みんなえらく怯えているではないですか。
血が広がっている。先生助けなきゃ。
Kotomi tries to stand
お
up.
前はそのままでいろ。
Kotomi glares back at Mamiya, but even so, she can't bring herself to move.
マミヤ、てめえ。
I kick off the desk and stand up.
みなかみくん、どうしたの。
どうしたじゃないだろうが。
おやおや、どうやら君もここに転がる哀れな子羊と変わらないようだね。君の心は恐怖で濁っている。
はあ、てめえ。
はっ、どうした。僕を殴るのかい。小沢や今まで僕をいじめてきた人間がしたように僕を殴るのかい。君はこの学校に入学して早々小沢を殴り北高で一目置かれた。
バカか。あんなもんで一目置かれるかよ。単にみんな引いただけだ。
そうなの。だったらなぜ君が一人でも誰も陰口を叩かないんだい。なぜ僕が一人だと皆が僕の陰口を叩くんだい。
知らねえよそんなことは。
I go to throw a punch at him, but
ダメだよ。今度障害起こしたら退学だって。
Kotomi stops me.
小さき人間は小さき範囲で序列を作りたがるものだ。君と僕は変わらない存在なのに、君はこのクラスで王となり僕は奴隷となった。
おお、お前何見てるんだ。俺は単にクラスから浮いてるだけだろ。
浮いている。いや、クラスの連中は君を怖がっているよ。あの凶悪な小沢を気絶するまで殴った人間だからね。
違う。気絶させるまで殴ってなんか。
I look around the classroom. Why is everyone avoiding my gaze?
ほら、 よくよく皆の反応を見てごらんよ。
そうじゃなくて、単にこいつらはめんどくさいから関わりたくないだけで。
けど今はその王よりも僕を皆が畏怖している。
王じゃねえよ、俺は単に。
I feel miserable trying to defend myself. I got into a fight with an old friend, and afterwards he fell into delinquency. That's all there is to it, really. As someone who'd known Ozawa before, to me it just seemed like he changed. But that's not how it looks on the outside, is it? Here, I am something to be feared. In that sense, I'm no different from Mamiya. Just an outcast that can't fit in. I'm frozen in that spot, unable to say another word.
聞くがよい。
Here we go.
恐怖におののく者どもよ。世界は20日で終わる。これは紛れもない真実だ。
Wait. Wait, shit, something fell. All right, good. We're good. After this scene, I'm gonna end stream, or maybe after the day, when it goes to July 16. I'm kind of sick, but I'm starting to feel it again. I'm better off getting some rest after this. This is what I hate when you go on PTO. You just start to get sick the moment you no longer feel stress.
小沢の死も高島の死も私を生まれ変わらせるために神がこの二人を煮えとした。私は生まれ変わった。何に？救世主に。
いやー、救世主！
そう、救世主に私は生まれ変わったのだ。世界はあと5日で終わる。しかしそれは兆しに過ぎない。世界が生まれ変わるための救われない者は古い世界と共に永久に地獄の豪華に焼かれるのだ。未来永劫に続く苦しみだ。皆知っているだろう。世界が嘘で満ちているのを。愚者は平等という。しかし皆知っている。世界が平等でないことを。いや、他ならぬ。お前たちがこんな小さな空間で人間に優劣をつけていた。愚者は自由という。しかし皆知っている。世界に自由がないことを。だからお前らはくだらない学校の勉強を強要されている。なぜならば無責任な自由の教授とは社会においては転落を意味するからだ。愚者は愛という。しかし皆知っている。愛が人を裏切ることを。いつでも三次元は我々を裏切ってきた。
The third dimension always betrays us.
愚者は人を殺すなという。しかし皆知っている。数えきれないほど多くを殺した者が英雄として歴史に刻まれること。愚者は嘘をつくなという。しかし皆知っている。愚者こそが嘘つきであることを。愚者の嘘を鵜呑みにした者はバカを見る。平等など信じ自らの地位からはみ出した行為をすれば社会は平気で我々を切り捨てる。自由は素晴らしいという者がいるが自由ほどうさんくさいものはない。愛が素晴らしいという。だが成就しない愛は一方的なものとみなされ、その言葉を告白した者はまるで汚物を見るかのような視線にさらされる。また相思相愛ですら多くの者が長く連れ添うこともなく破局する。
I love this full schizo rant, man.
マスメディアで祝福された結婚がどれほど長く続くか。くだらないゴシップが好きなお前らならばよく知るところだろう。なぜ殺してはならないか。街は人で溢れている。そしてそれは国境を越えてあまねく大地にまで溢れ出ているではないか。不思議だと思わないのか。大地を埋め尽くすように生えてくる民族の束。 それぞれがうようよと動き、愚鈍な人生で一生を終える。確実に無意味で愚鈍で生きる価値もない街を見よう。今も無数の無意味な生き物どもがうごめいている。仕事やら勉強やら、その本質を考えるなど追随することなく、ただ与えられたことを繰り返し続ける。そんな性に価値があるのか。なぜそんな人間を殺してはならないのか。いや、正しくは人は殺してはいけないわけではない。人は殺してもよいのだ。この国においては死刑がある。国がその名において人を殺すのだ。そして戦争がある。戦争とは殺した分だけ名誉となる日常だ。我々が信じる世界の常識とあべこべではないか。なぜ我々の日常では殺人が許されないか。簡単なことだ。単に国が戸籍という名の番号で管理しているからに過ぎない。国家は国家の名において家畜である国民を管理する。殺人とはその管理を乱す行為でしかない。また戦争とは国家において戸籍を消費して敵を打ち破ることに過ぎない。世界でただ雑多にうごめく人間にそもそも価値などない。そのことを国家が一番よく知っているのだ。だから支配者は自分の都合で戸籍の名前を消費して戦争を始める。これが真実だ。ならば逆に我々が信じる日常的常識とは何か。汝殺すなかれ。汝会員するなかれ。汝盗むなかれ。汝その隣人に対して偽りの証を立つるなかれ。汝その隣人の家を貪るなかれ。また汝の隣人の妻を寝取るな。これら一切の道徳的なもの、そして法律的なもの、それらは嘘なのだ。全ては嘘であったのだ。日常とは嘘で塗り固められた虚構にしか過ぎない。そのような虚構はもろく簡単に崩れ去るだろう。今まさにその時が来ようとしている。世界がこれからずっと今までのようにあるか。なぜそんな簡単な嘘に惑わされるのだ。今まであったものが同じようにこれからもあり続けることだとありえようか。疑惑を持て。そしてその疑惑の目から真実を見つめろ。我々が前に踏み出そうとするその先はすでに奈落なのだ。この終わりなき苦痛たる日常は終わる。世界は終わる。確実に終わる。これが真実なのだ。そのことだけをお前たちに告げに私はここに来たのだ。幸いかな。羊の群れよ、狼の群れからその身を逃してやろう。羊飼いは安住の地にお前たちを導くであろう。
A voice comes from the corridor. It seems a commotion had reached the neighboring classroom. Mamiya rushes out of the classroom.
Mamiya.
Bro went full schedule for no reason. The classroom soon grows noisy. Other teachers coming and running in. All I could do was stand there, just as he said. I couldn't do anything. Why didn't I hit him? I should have, but I couldn't do it. Memories of the past stopped me. Memories of that fight. And how that one incident determined my life at Yukito High from then on. And a reputable school like this, students like me don't fit in. In fact, we're seen as nothing but nuisances. Maybe I seem different from then Mamiya. Sure, I might look so strong that even someone like Ozawa would fear me. But that's not how it is in reality. There's no difference between me and Mamiya. If anything, the only thing that sets us apart is that I have a childhood friend, Kotomi, by my side. Maybe having a childhood friend isn't so bad. What the fuck? If it weren't for her, I'd probably spend each day with my head on my desk, wandering around alone at lunchtime. Eventually I dropped out. The closed space of school, everyone has a given role to play. You have to find the right role for yourself as soon as possible, and then play it throughout your school life. That's the reality of this place. Ozawa may have been feared by many students, but that sort of role isn't needed here. If he'd gone to a school with a worse reputation, maybe it had a place with that role. I guess that's why he always hung around with students from other schools and deliberately swaggered around the school grounds. There's no way that guy could have graduated in the first place, and it was only a matter of time until he got expelled. Still, I think that the only thing that kept him going might have been some kind of resentment towards this place.
Mamiya Takuji.
He said the world is filled with lies. That's the true identity of the school system we're living through right now. Each of us must live out our lives in the play of these lies, and that will go on, and that'll probably go on for all eternity. What we're learning right now is what's necessary to survive in this society. We'll each graduate and go our own paths, going to colleges, grad schools, and working in countless companies and government offices out there. Now we have to continue to live our lives, playing the same parts, adjusting our masks as necessary, reading the mood, a skill developed through years of school life. In order to prevent this daily life from collapsing, we must continue to live playing our parts in this lie. Simply searching for a role, searching for where we fit in. Mamiya is right. There's no equality in the world. There's no fairness. It's just a question of how well you can adapt to the lies of this world, or how well you can use them to your advantage. Those without empathy will sweet-talk others for their own benefit. The annals of history are filled with records of people who found their lives upon such lies. Fairness, like a slogan, is a dazzling light that preys upon those too kind-hearted and foolish to question it. The brighter the light, the more people are blinded by it. Violence is considered evil. However, violence is just another form of communication. And that's why I should have hit him. Reasoning is useless in the face of sophistry. Forcing someone's hand via brute force is another methodology. He understands that. That's why he split that teacher's head open. A young man once posed a question of his to a Nobel Prize winning author. Why is it wrong to kill people? In response, the author replied, rather than that, I think the real problem lies in the question itself. Any good child would be ashamed of asking such a question. Why? Because children, immature as they are, possess their own kind of pride, regardless of whether their character is good or bad, or their intelligence sharp or dull. That's what he replied. Precisely because he was able to give an answer like that must have been why he was awarded a Nobel Prize. There's no reason why we shouldn't kill people. People are fine with killing others. It just doesn't register because we only think in terms of the physical world. Physically murdering someone is forbidden. That's why we don't do it. But people kill others socially. Think hard enough and anyone can realize it. If there is any justification for publicly executing a person, regardless of the group they belong to, people will go all out to kill that person. What's more, they don't even need a valid reason. All they need is endorsement for someone to tell them, you can keep hitting this guy. That's all. People kill others socially. In the middle of a harmonious and lively group of friends, all it takes is one wrong word that screams, you're different, to ruin everything. How well they can emulate similar views. How well they can embody the atmosphere of those said values. To some, these things are a matter of life and death. People kill others. That's what it means to live in society. That's how we evolve. The desire to socially eliminate those who are different remains strong even today, because it's baked into human nature from generations of it being necessary. Since the very beginning of ancient civilization and tribes, those appearing alien have been excluded. Even prehistoric hunter-gatherers maintained their communities by ignoring and excluding and finally killing those who were alien to the group. They did this to increase the survival rate of their own tribe. The presence of someone who cared about nothing but themselves in a savanna or jungle posed a major risk in and of itself. So they began excluding them from small things, until little by little the extremity of it grew, and finally the uncooperative person would likely be killed by the group. But we don't live in the savannas or jungles anymore. There are no alien enemies in our society. There's no fear to fight against. So how has that instinct to maintain community evolved in the world without enemies? People kill others socially. Even without alien enemies, anxiety always surrounds us as a group. In order to alleviate that anxiety, people socially eliminate others. That's why people lie. People search for mass. Like many have before us, we act out lies. Because without lies, the world can't go on. If not everyone believes the lie, we can't keep living. We invented many of these lies ourselves. At times, people call them freedom. At times, people call them equality. At times, charity, and so on. We invented them. All of them. We act as if we discovered that they existed before humans. That they aren't lies, even if they are. Yet, we mustn't realize they are lies. And even when we do, we mustn't speak of it. For if we can no longer believe in the shared lies, people must find new lies once again.
そんなことが簡単にできるのならば、誰もこんな茶番じみた嘘に付き合うわけがない。多分、俺たちの未来など明るくはない。良くなる要素などない。
The current elderly die happily, and the next generation will live out decent lives and die as well. But the rapid growth of this country is pretty much over. The future that awaits us is nothing but decline. Maybe even the peaceful and boring lives we have now will seem wonderfully enviable in hindsight. Even still, we'll continue to play out this lie. Why?
だってさ、そこから始めなきゃならないじゃないか。どんな嘘だとしても、俺たちは俺たちの今を肯定して、そして今日という日を生きて、明日という日を信じる。嘘でも、この退屈な日常がいつまでも続くことを信じたいんだ。戦争、革命、国家破綻、疫病、それら最悪だけが世界を変える力を持っていたとしても、ただ今が続けばいい。嘘にまみれた虚構の今にしがみつけばいい。人はそうやってこそ、まるで呪われた生き方だ。それでもさ。
Surprisingly, I don't hate this school life. I'm an outcast, pushed out and away. And yet I can't bring myself to hate the very people who put me in this position, who frantically cling to their everyday lives. They read the mood, exclude those alien to them, and protect their own everyday life. Who can blame them for that? Just like the anxiety always follows the group, even in the peaceful life, anxiety always haunts us. This everyday life is never-ending peace, is followed by a thick, suffocating anxiety.
なのに、なぜそれを手放そうとするんだよ。薄い氷のような俺たちの日常を。
ユキトくん、
おとなしか。
泣いてるの？
泣いてる。
What the fuck? Why is he crying?
そう見えるのかよ。
うん、そう見える。
涙なんか出てないぞ。
涙が出ないほどの悲しさだってある。
そんな風には思わない。俺が今思っていたことはそんなもんじゃない。
負け続けるの？
負ける？
うん。
負け続けているか。お前には俺がそう見えるのか？
わからない。
だったら俺の人生は始まった瞬間から負け続けてるかもしれないな。その答えで満足するのであればあっち行ってくれ。今は一人になりたい。
私、ユキトくん好き。
はあ？
ずーっと昔から たくさんのユキトくんが負け続けてる。
Oh my god, here we go. Here we go.
何言ってるんだお前。
泣いてた。その人たちは全て泣いて負けてきた。ユキトくんも負けるのだと思う。でも私はそういうユキトくんが好き。
なるほど。そりゃどうもどういたしましてだ。昼休みか。
そう。
この時間から来たということは、お前も弁当でも食いに来たのか？
お弁当は忘れた。
んじゃこれやる。
I take out an inari sushi I bought at the convenience store.
ほらこれ食えよ。
Oh man, shit. I'm excited for like some shit about Ayana.
美味しい。
ってお前それガリだぞ。
ガリは良きもの。
いや普通にお稲荷食えよ。
I offer some to her. She just swallowed it whole.
そんな食べ方して大丈夫か？
むへる。
何？
むせる。
丸飲みするからだよ。ほらお茶だ。
She keeps gulping it down, and soon enough there isn't a drop left in the bottle.
遠慮というか、そもそも丸飲みする時点でお前は変なやつだな。
そう？
うん、変だよ。
そう。
なあ、おとなしい。
何？
負け続けた人たちってなんだ？
そのままの意味。
逆に勝ち続けた人たちっているのか？
My question is met with silence.
勝ち続けた人間って何なんだろう。生において勝つって何なんだ。たまに俺は夢を見るんだ。
夢？
そう、夢だ。それは予感でしかないんだけど、予感としての夢なんだ。
どんな夢？
赤ん坊が生まれるんだよ。
Oh, here we go. This line. Oh man, I didn't expect this early on, man. I wasn't expecting this monologue.
誰の？
知らないけど赤ん坊が生まれるんだよ。そう。
It's this thing, man. Here we go again. Here we go again. You know how reused this image is? This is so reused. I bet they even did this. I bet they even used this in H2O or some shit. I can't remember.
その赤ん坊は泣くんだよ。おぎゃおぎゃってさ。その声を聞いてみんな笑うんだよ。みんな祝福してるんだよ。お母さんもお父さんも、そしてその他の人も。世界中の人々が祝福するんだ。その赤ん坊の生誕を。
Although the first time I heard this, it was Tomasane who was making the monologue, right? I can't remember Yuki did the monologue first in Down the Rabbit Hole 2, but I specifically remember Tomasane doing it. Then Yuki does it in Jabberwocky 2.
世界は生の祝福で満たされる。でもさ、違うんだ。そこで俺は気がつくんだ。そして俺は一人、そこで恐怖する。ああ、これは違うって気がついて。なぜならそれはさ、確実に世界を呪っているんだ。その生まれたての赤ん坊は生まれたことを呪っているんだよ。確実に。だから俺、その場で凍りつくんだ。みんな笑っている中で、聖者たちの祝福の中でさ、俺は一人で恐怖する。だってやらなきゃいけないと呪っているのなら、救ってやらなきゃいけないと俺はさ。そしてその赤ん坊の泣き声を止めようとするんだ。そうしなければいけないと思うんだ。だってそうだろ。生まれたことを呪う赤子を救うにはそれしかない。それが生まれてしまって無残に生き続けてしまっている俺の 唯一の償いだと思うんだ。誰に対して？多分その赤ん坊に対してだろうか。いや違う、それ以外の何かに対して。もっと多くの現在に対しての償いなんだと思う。生きるということは罪を重ねることだ。汝殺すなかれ。それでもキリストは船の上から魚の群れに網を放つように命じた。多くの魚が殺された。水を失い船の上で懸命に口をパクパクさせる魚には痛みはないのか？苦しみはないのか？その生を奪うことは殺すではないのか？ブッダは摂取を禁じた。
Okay, a few of these lines are new.
それでも彼は多くの植物を咀嚼した。
It's over vegans and vegetarians.
輪廻転生を教えた彼ですら植物の悲鳴は聞こえなかったのか？神の子、そして悟りを開いた者、彼らは何ら罪を犯していないのか？俺にはそう思えない。存在はいつだって現在を抱えている。生き続けることは罪を重ねることだ。だとしたら生まれることは呪いではないか。数えきれないほどの罪を重ねて我々は生きながらえなければならない。その全てに目をつぶり、俺たちは嘘をつき続けなければならない。罪を告白せずに覆い隠すことで生きながらえなければならない。だったらそのことを知って赤ん坊が生を呪っているのなら、俺は生まれたての赤ん坊の首を絞めて、俺が赤ん坊を殺すという罪によってその命は罪を犯さずにその生を全うできる。
I like the changes in the line kind of give it a much more logical reason why he wants to strangle the kid. Well, the context is different compared to like when Yuki made the monologue. It was because we're talking about like, you know, how living was like, you know, living a life of suffering or some shit. But you know how that went. That anyway. Here is a different. There's a different reason where it's about having to commit sin to live.
俺はやはり終わらせようとするんだ。祝福の笑いの中で俺はその赤ん坊の首を絞めようとするんだ。けどさ、できないんだよ。おぎゃって泣いている赤ん坊の首をなんでだ？これが唯一できる生まれてしまったものの償いになるにもかかわらずに、それができないんだ。
Only way I can atone for my sins. Yeah, this lies you.
生は罪だけを重ねるが、そこに何ら意味も持てない。生きる意味などないんだ。少なくともその赤ん坊に俺は何一つ意味を与えられない。ただ確実に言えるのは、その子は生きていく間に多くの罪を重ねるだろうことだ。何一つ生に対して意味も意義も与えられない俺がさ、しなければならない唯一のことなのにできないんだ。そしてその場に倒れ込んだ俺は泣き出すんだよ。俺はその赤ん坊より大きな声でうわんうわん泣き出すんだよ。情けないよな。夢といえども何もできないでうわんうわん泣くんだぜ、大の男が。情けないよな。けどある時気がつくんだ。ああそうか、赤ん坊の泣き声がさ、普通になるんだよ。普通に無邪気な声でおぎゃおぎゃって泣くんだよ。その声を聞きながら俺はその場で思うんだ。よかった、本当によかったって。何がよかったんだわからないよ。ただそう思うしかないんだ。何も解決してないし何も変わらないけど、ただよかったと俺は泣きながら思うんだ。お前は負けた人たちという。けど生に対して勝つことなんてありえるのか？ 俺はとてもじゃないけど、性はそれだけで忌まわしきものだ。
それでもユキト君は赤ん坊を殺さない。
はあ、そうだな。そしてこう思ってしまう。あの子を殺さなくてよかったと思うんだ。人がどんな罪を重ねて生きていったとしても、そしてそのせいに何ら意味がないとしてもさ、その子が生きてくれてありがとうと思うんだ。それは単なる予感でさ、確信ではないんだ。呪われた生はやはり祝福を持って迎えられるべきだ。だってやはり生は祝福されているのだからさ。勝ちの人生ってなんだ？それは幸福であることか。
幸福？
ああ、そうだ。幸福であることが生においての勝ちなのか。
いかなる行為が理性的存在者の幸福を促進するか、確実に一般的に言えることを定めよという課題は全く解決不可能であり、したがってこの課題に対する明法、すなわち我々を幸福にするという厳密な意味で命令する明法など存在しない。不可能である。なぜならば幸福とは理性の理想ではなく想像の理想であって、様々な経験的な積み重ねに基づくものに過ぎないからである。それまで経験したことを根拠として、多くの事実上無限な系列から幸福に至るための唯一の方法など探し当てようなどの行為は無駄と言わざるを得ない。
なんだそれ。
ユキト君が読んでた本にそんなことが書いてあった。
Wait, let me read back for a bit. I'm trying to stew things in my brain right now. What actions foster that of rational beings? To establish what can be said with certainty in general. The issue lies that determining such a thing is completely insolvable. Therefore, the imperative of this problem. In other words, there exists imperative which perfectly exists to achieve happiness. In a word, impossible. Happiness is not an ideal of reason, but of imagination, resting solely on empirical grounds. It is vain to expect that these should define an action by which one could attain the totality of a series of consequences.
俺が
Oh,
イマヌエル・カントか。
ユキト君が読んでいたから、その人の本を読んでみたら。
俺が読んでたって理由で読んだのか。
そう、ユキト君が何を求めて何を知りたがっているかに興味があったから。
俺が？
そう、私には興味があった。
音無しさ。
何？
対の空だっけ。
そう、対の空。
俺にもいつか見えるって言ったよな。
うん。
それが見えるってどういう意味なんだ？
意味なんてない。いかなるものがあるがままにしか存在しない。あるがままにあるものに意味を与える必要なんてない。ユキト君がそれを見たときに、それに意味を与えるのはユキト君でしかない。
そうか。俺にもしそんなものが見えたら、俺はそれに対して何を思うんだろ
う。生まれたての赤子の夢にユキト君が意味を与えたように、またあなたはそれに対しても何かしらの意味を与えるかもしれない。人は因果の世界を作る。原因と結果、そのような意図で世界を結ぶ。そして意味を与える。それがどんなものであったとしても、やはり意味を与える。
That's interesting. Causality, because of one's individual experience, their own, how they're able to assign meaning to something, and it remains unique because of the experiences an examination of like how a series of actions have went to that. Anyway,
語り得ぬものだとしても、人は語ろうとする。そしてその言葉の先で行き詰まる。
語れないものを語ろうとした先で言葉に詰まるのか。どうしようもないな。
でもユキト君はその生まれたての赤子を祝福した。行き詰まった言葉の先でもちゃんと祝福を与えられた。祝福は必ずしも言葉ではない。沈黙という祝福もある。いいえ、むしろ多くの言葉の先に沈黙がある。すべてのものが解決した時こそ生の本当の問題は始まる。解決されるべき事象はすべて明晰に解決されればいい。戸惑う必要なんてない。語られた先で見つめればいい。
お前が見ている空ってそういうものなのか。
そうかもしれないし、そうじゃないかもしれない。
I look up into the sky, into the blue world that envelopes us. The sky draped over above us. I see our daily lives reflected in it.
あ、ユキト。
コトミ。
ユキト、また授業サボってたんだね。
すまん。
It's true that, despite all that happened, I went to the rooftop by myself again.
もういいんで。それじゃあ。
おいコトミ、少し待て。怒らせてすまん。
怒ってなんかないです。私これから他校と合同練習があるの。だから邪魔しないでほしい。
おいコトミ。
I grab her arm.
俺が悪かった。一人にして。
別に一人じゃなかった。クラスのみんながいたし、私別に全然怖くなかったし。
Her arm trembles in my grasp.
怖いのだろ。
だから全然怖くなんかないって。そもそもユキトには関係ないでしょ。
She shakes off my
コ
hand.
トミ、ちょっと待て。
I chase after her.
おい。
I put my hand on her shoulder and... Oh man. She's crying. It's just like back then.
泣いてるのか。
泣いてなんてないし。もういいから行動練習の用意しないと。
Is this the option that determines which ending you get? I'm gonna go console her. I can imagine this is the typical option that most people get at at their first playthrough. if you're too lazy, if you're just clicking through a lot of things, you'll end up with the let her go. But like, I think the typical option that the person would choose is to console her, and then for some reason you want to get the let her go. So since this is my first playthrough, I'm gonna go for console her. Kotomi brushes my hand away.
ごめん。八つ当たりだよ。今のは。でもさ、大丈夫だから。もう元気なんだよ。
何が。
だから私は大丈夫だから。うん。
どこがだよ。足震えてるぞ。嘘だ。
こんな時に冗談なんて言うかな。朝だって変なこと言って私を動揺させ。
いや、震えているのは本当だ。
ユキト。
Yeah, I can imagine this is the first playthrough thing that you would choose to console her. So maybe the not consoling her option might lead to something interesting, but like this is the typical option.
こうやって抱きしめればわかる。見ただけじゃわからない。だってさ、お前はいつでも我慢して どんなことがあっても強く言おうとしているからさ。
こんなの卑怯だし、こんなの。
こんな時じゃないと言えないから言っておく。俺がこの学校で今日までやってこれたのはお前のおかげだ。お前がいてくれたから俺はここでやっていけた。だったら今俺がお前にしてやらなきゃいけないことって言ったら。
ごめん、ユキト。
なんだ、俺はいきなり失恋したのか？
バカ、そんなわけないじゃない。私はユキトのことずっと好きだったし。
どういうことだよ。
私はさ、昔からそうだったの。だから強くなるため剣道も始めた。
実際今じゃ相当強いだろ。男子生徒でも勝てないって聞いてるぞ。
そりゃ単位が違うもん。一応私は3段だし。
それってすごいんだろ。
すごかったら私
琴美はすごいよ。
すごかったら泣いたりしないし。
すごいやつだって。
Kotomi stifles her tears as she sobs. I let her cry into my shoulder as I hug her tightly. I'm not sure whether it lasts a few seconds or a few minutes. It felt like an eternity, but it probably wasn't all that long really. I just held her close.
あのね、水上くん。
あ、はい。
君、授業出てなかったって本当かしら？
ね、まあ、そうでしょうかね。
There's no point in lying, so I just answered honestly. I think Kiyokawa is physically incapable of getting angry. So she'll probably just send me to the staff room and I'll be told off by a senior teacher instead. But contrary to my expectations, she instead asked me a question in a trembling voice.
もしかしてあの話を信じてそれで逃げてたの？
Oh man, forgot she's front and center for the schizo shit.
あの話？もしかして世界が20日に終わるとか言う？
そうよ。それあの噂ってやっぱり。
何ですかそれ。しかも逃げるってなんで？
I reply with a faint smile. In a state of clear confusion, Kiyokawa says,
そうよね。ごめんなさい。いや、なんかそういう生徒がいるんじゃないかなと思ってね。
そうなんですか。というか、なんか先生変ですが。
そんなことありませんよ。私は。それよりも君もあんまり授業をサボってはいけませんよ。
あ、はい。
もう授業をサボってはダメですよ。
With that, Kiyokawa runs off.
なんだあれ。あからさまにおかしかったような。うん。
Under a sky dyed deep crimson, I head home via my usual route. Kotomi said she had to join training with another school today. She'll go home from there. Considering that, I should have been on my way straight home, but
なんだか気になってな。
and so I kept wandering around school grounds and the surrounding streets. Though I didn't really know what I was hoping to find. It wasn't like I was gonna find anything just wandering around, or so I thought.
ん？あれは剣道部の横山じゃないか？
She has a weird look in her eyes for a second.
水上先輩だ。
Am I seeing things? Her face quickly changes to a friendly smile, much like the one she had when we last met.
お前、琴美たちと他校との合同練習に行ったんじゃなかったのか？
そうでしたね。
なんでお前はこんなところにいるんだ？
それよりもお聞きしたいのですが、水上先輩はまだ嘘だと思っているのでしょうか？
何の話だ？
世界が終わるって話ですよ。
世界が終わる？何言ってるんだお前。
なるほどね。 先輩はまだ20日に世界が終わるって信じていないのですね。
信じるも何もありえないし。
ありえないって何ですか？
え？
朝、太陽が東から昇って西に沈みます。明日の朝にナメック星が北から昇って
Why the
西に
fuck she
沈
lost
む
about
ことは
planet
ない
Namek?
のですか？
It takes
それはなぜそう思えるのですか？
5 minutes and Namek is like 2 to 3 hours. Or 4 hours. How many episodes was it before it was like Frieza throws like a discus at the center of Namek's center and said the planet only has 5 minutes? And how many episodes did it take for it to actually explode? Probably like 5 or 6 episodes. Anyway.
自然はデタラメには動かない。必ず秩序を持っている。それはどのようにして確約されるのでしょうか？
Great. What's happened to you now too? It sounds like she's arguing about the uniformity principle of nature. As long as I've been alive, the sun's always risen in the east and set in the west. And that's likely because it's likely been true since before I was born as well, even before life existed on Earth. That's why the sun keeps rising the same way every morning. Nature isn't random. Man, Newtonian physics. Anyway, nature isn't random. It repeats operating under the same rules. In other words, it acts under the uniformity principle of nature. But how can we prove that principle exists? For example, the scientific method fundamental to natural science, induction, inherently incorporates the uniformity principle. In other words, the pre-established notion of what has always been. And the uniformity principle creates a paradox when paired with induction.
いきなりそんなこと言われると思わなかったが、もし仮に朝太陽が東から昇って西に沈むという確実性の証明が循環論法になっていようが、だとして明日ナメック星が昇ってくるよりははるかに確率は高い。蓋然性の高さが全く違う。
人の心が絡むことにおいても自然の一応性原理は当てはまるのですか？絶対に起きない確率の出来事でも人が介在することで当たり前のように起きてしまうなどごく普通なことではないのですか？
それはそうだが、だとしても世界が滅亡するなどいうことが人の気分に左右されるとは思わないが。
なるほど、よくわかりました。
By the way, I like how they kind of established in lore of the school being one of those schools that had those high grades. So I'm not surprised that someone like Yasuko can randomly just talk about philosophy in a drop of a hat. So I can imagine a lot of them can do that. I'm giving the impression that they can do that. A lot of them can do that, but for some reason, they're so easily prone to like Mamiya Takaji's bullshit. Or the black pill, if you so to speak. Anyway.
何が分かったんだ？
琴美先輩も水上先輩も見誤っている。だからあなたには琴美先輩は救えない。
救うってなんだ？
Yokoyama walks off.
なんだあいつ。
Looks like my impression of her was way off. Is that what she's really like?
20日に世界が終わるなんて。どいつもこいつも。ほんとどうかしちまったのか。
An ominous atmosphere weighs upon me, and so another passage comes to mind. Now, there was there nigh onto the mountains a great herd of swine feeding, and all the devils besought him, saying, "Send us into the swine, that we may enter into them." And forthwith Jesus gave them leave. And the unclean spirits went out, and entered into the swine. The herd ran violently down a steep place into the sea and were choked in the sea. And they then fed the swine fed, and they that fed the swine fled, told it in the city and in the country. They went out to see what it was that was done, and they came to Jesus, and see him that was possessed with the devil, and had the legion, sitting and clothed, and in his right mind, and they were afraid. And they that saw it told them how it befell to him, that they were possessed with the devil, and also concerning the swine. This passage is famous for being quoted at the start of Dostoevsky's novel. I can pronounce Russian names. Demons. Dostoevsky. I really can't pronounce shit. Alright, this is where I end. Where I'm gonna continue this at the evening. If I'm feeling way better by tomorrow, we're gonna continue this in the evening. Hopefully tomorrow I start with Wukong and in the morning, and I end my Wukong stream just before I take dinner. Then after dinner I'm gonna continue Tsui Sora, or I'm just gonna upload because I still don't know when the dangerous issues are gonna show up, so I'll probably start doing some recording after dinner. So that might be not. I won't be streaming it, so I'll probably just upload from there. I still don't know when it starts, but I always felt like I don't know. I have a feeling that Yukito's route will have at least one H scene, considering our MC's a dude. Anyway, that's it for today, and I'll see you guys for tomorrow at the Wukong stream. And I don't know, I'm streaming Tsui Sora, but if I don't stream it, there's a good chance I'm going to be recording it and just uploading it in the channel. And I'll see you guys. Ciao.